today we are playing Minecraft, and I am with special guests. I got Gaming 8 Ball. What are you doing? And I have Antonio, as always. These are my friends. Say hello, everyone. I hope everybody can hear me. I hope. Antonio. Shit. Go watch my stream and see. Can y'all hear me in my stream? Okay. So yeah, we're playing Minecraft Survival because why not? So. Oh god, that's a good hiccup. Well, we're in survival. Yeah, but we're really good at survival, though. Equipped? Ah! I'm stuck, Step. Bro, why don't I just do that? Da. Doggo! Doggy. No! What's the dog doing? Swish. So, before we get into the story, I will have to do a warning for this video because we are going to talk about one of the infamous killers, one of the serial killers, which is called BTK, which is bound, torture, and kill. Now, I will have to give a heads up because some of the stuff I'm about to say is gruesome, and yeah, Antonio might kill me for it, but you get to hear about it. I mean, if you don't want to hear it, you can just mute me. I don't mind. No, not Robert Downey Jr. No, his name's BTK. Anywho, let's see what I'll do stream. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love when I share with y'all. Baby. Anywho, so who is the no back up, cow. No, I killed it. But anyways, the following story is for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised because I am not trying to get demonetized with certain things. I wonder what that is. Just kidding. Anyways, so BTK stands for shit. Not Robert Downey Jr. No. 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 I mean, I'm on YouTube, so it's not that bad. Anyways, BTK stands for bound, torture, and kill. So, who is the infamous killer? Well, Anyways, his real name. The screenplay just sent me. It's just you screamed sent me for some reason. I don't know why you scream. Fair enough. So his name is Dennis Lynn Rader. So basically he was born on March 9th, 1945. No. When did we get the Renegade? So, his name is Dennis Rader, and he was born in Kansas. Now, he kinda was... No, we're not sponsored. I wish we were. I wish this channel was sponsored, but sadly we're not. Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I mean, if I was sponsored from Flamin' Hot Cheetos, I would have made this a long time ago, you know. I love Flamin' Hot Cheetos. So... I can't even get in this house. There it goes. Look, I ain't trying to die today. Oh, it's a sheepy. Oh, 2 sheepies. I'm holding your brothers. Anyways, his family was Dorothea May Rader, and William Elvin. His middle name's really Elvin. Elvin, not Elvis. Right? No. No, and he also had 4 brothers, which their name was Paul, Bill, and Jeff. Anywho, he was born in either Columbus, Kansas, or Pittsburgh, Kansas, but he basically grew up in Wichita. Both parents had worked long hours and paid little attention to the kids. Basically, he just felt like he was ignored, and he resented his mother, you know. No, he didn't kill his mom. He just resented his mom. No, resented. Basically, he hated his mom. So, at a young age, Dennis basically became a sexual sadist. So, I would tell you... no! So basically he had these fantasies of torturing trapped and helpless women while reliving a sexual fantasy. Basically. Well, he killed a whole bunch of people, but we're going to get into the victims here soon. I just ran into a villager sleeping. What the villager! Wait. No, Antonio, look at the villager right here. Wait, where are you at, babe? He's laying on the floor. No, come here. Come here to me. No, come to me real quick. I gotta show you this villager. But he's literally laying on the floor, passed out. Yeah, but he had the door closed and everything. It's hilarious. For real. But basically, that's what he would like to do. He would also, oh my god. But also he liked to torture, kill small animals. In this sort of way, but at least his mother, yeah. Not really, but you can say. Hey, I found 2 emeralds. Cool. Yeah, because we're in the village. I was gonna say, we're in the village also, dude. I'm just over here. I'm in survival. So... Wait, is there any mods in this? I'm going to be in survival. But anyways. But also, he really liked to act out. He liked erotic asphyxiation, basically, and cross-dressing. So basically, that's what he was doing when he was younger. He would do stuff. Yeah. But here's the thing. He actually went to college, believe it or not. He actually went to a Kansas university after high school, and he had a well, he basically went there and dropped out a year later, I should say. And then he joined the U.S. Air Force. So he was there from 1966 to 1970. He actually got discharged from it. So then he finally got married to a girl named Paulina Dietz on May 22nd, 1971. But then he also had 2 kids with her, which their names was Carrie and Brian. Then he went back to college. No, not Karen. Carrie. But he attended Butler Country Community College in El Dorado, and he earned an associate's degree in electronics in 1973. Okay. Then he also went... I love somebody smacking. Then he also... Okay. Then he also went to State University, another state university, which is Wichita. I think I'm saying it right, hopefully. And he graduated in 1979 with a Bachelor of Science degree, which he majored for Administration of Justice. And he basically worked throughout everything, basically. He did several jobs. So basically, yeah. He did actually pretty good for himself, if I do say so myself. Except for the killing. So, like, I'm not supporting killers and all that. But he did really good. Oh, it's an Iron Golem. Hi, Bob. Yeah. Yeah, I call the Iron Golem Bob. No, 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 no. His name wasn't even Bobby. That was his son that was Bobby. His name is Hank.
Bazinga. I have been gone for a while. Exactly
Welcome
46 minutes, but I'm alive.
See, I'm live too. I'm live.
I see. Anyway, yeah, what's everybody doing then?
I'm live streaming Minecraft. And
Yeah,
I'm telling the story of BTK, which is a serial killer. So.
Ooh. Yo, I'm intrigued. What have I missed?
Well, I was just telling you his backstory. Now we're about to get into the murder victims.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh my god, no. Can I just... is there a way I could just...
Can I get an invite? Somebody.
Yeah, give me a second, I'll invite you.
Alright, cool. Sorry about that. Thank you, Antonio.
There we go. Alright,
Thank
so...
you, Cody.
You're welcome. So, we're going to get into the murder victims of the BTK killer. Which I shouldn't sound so excited about it, but yeah.
I love true crime. I'm one of those people too.
Yeah, I love true crime.
I do history for that reason, because we have to go like in depth on Jack the Ripper, and I did that the other day.
Oh yeah, I had to do that when I was in. I actually my
so
final
fun.
paper when I was in school, when I was in high school. When I was in high school, my final paper was on Jack the Ripper, and I got a B plus. I got a B on that.
I've gone in depth, like
I did too.
Copied out an entire documentary for it. I went.
Hey, we're over here, Rice. Rice, we're over here.
I'm busy beating a guy.
No, don't be a Bob.
Oh, remember.
Don't kill Bob. Anyways, well, if a lot of you may know, a lot of people want to know who this is. This is Rice. This is one of our friends. Say hello,
Hi.
Rice, to my stream.
Hello.
So now, let's get into the victims. I am going to conclude another warning that I mean absolutely no disrespect to the victims and all that. I just want to give out information that I found on the internet. This is for entertainment purposes because, you know,
If anything, educational purposes.
Basically, a lot of people. But I don't want to disrespect anybody or including the victims and all that. So, without further ado, let's get into the case. So, the first murder was on January 15th of 1974. 4 members of the Orta family was murdered in Itchawa, Kansas, which the victims were Joseph Orta, age 38, Julie Orta, age 33, and Joseph Orta Jr., age 9, and Josephine Orta, age 11. They were discovered by the family's 3 older children who had been at school at the time of the killing. But he did get arrested in 2005. Technically he got arrested in 2005 for every other murder. And he actually confessed to killing them.
Oh.
Yeah, believe it or not, yeah. He actually wrote a letter that had been slashed inside slash Genocide and Engineering book, actually at the library in October of 1974. So it described the detailed killing of the family.
Wow.
So between the spring of 1974 and the winter of 1977, he killed 3 more women, which would indicate... So the 3 women were Catherine Bright, and that was on April 4th of 1974, Cheryl Van Raffel, which was March 17th of 1977, and Nancy Fox, that was in December 8th of 1977. So he did that, and actually in the early 1978, which after all those killings and all that, so in 1978 he sent another letter to a television station called KAKE, which was also in the Kansas area. He claimed the responsibility of the murders of all the victims. He also suggested many possible names for himself, which basically one kind of stuck with him, which was BTK. And he also wanted media attention, so basically that's what he's getting, if you actually really think about it.
I mean, why would he send a letter if he didn't want the attention?
Because he's taunting, yeah, but he's taunting them. He's like, I want this attention. He's like, I want this. I want to be known. So basically, he got what he got. So basically, he got what he's wanted. But then, after a while, it was like, for the longest time, and fun facts, for the longest time, they didn't think they had a serial killer on their hands with all the killings, with all his killings that he did. Believe it or not, they thought it was just a coincidence.
Odd.
But
was there,
it
like,
was
any ties to each, like any similarities between each killing or anything like it?
They found some similarities, not until like after all of it. Now the first killing, they thought it was like, oh, it was a murderer, like it was just like, you know, somebody in home invasion gone wrong, basically.
Okay.
That's what they thought. And then they had the letter saying, hey, but they didn't get the confession out of Dennis until 2005. Because they're like, oh, it's probably like a home invasion gone wrong. Which I was actually reading about it. Yeah, believe it or not, yeah. But then when the other women were getting killed, because they didn't tie the family killings to the others, like the other women, because he would mostly focus on women. So how he got the name BTK is because he bounded them, tortured them, and then killed them, given the name BTK. Yeah. So basically, he actually, and this is in the letter, okay? He also sat there and he was driven to kill by Jack the Ripper, Son of Sam, and the Hillside Strangler. He was motivated by them 3 killers. Believe it or not.
I find it interesting, Lord.
It really is. So basically he wanted to become like Jack the Ripper, Son of Sam, and actually the Hillside Strangler. Basically he wanted to be unknown. So he wanted to try to, quote, he wanted to try to be, you know, he kind of wanted to try to be not caught.
Yeah. But also wanted to be like full on like, hey, hi media, I'm gonna stab a bunch of people.
Yeah, basically. He basically like, hey media, you may not know who I am, but I'm gonna be known as the unknown killer in Kansas. Like, how you doing, buddy? Well, he did try to kill a few more people, but sadly some of them escaped. Some of them actually escaped.
That's the biggest mistake if you want to actually become like a completely unknown killer.
For real.
Like, you have to make sure your victims are dead, like. Like, I mean, I know this is gonna sound like I'm like one of those people like wants to pretend to be a killer or something, but like no, it's just I watch and read a lot of true crime.
Yeah.
So like I've noticed the patterns between like all the unsolved stuff. They make sure their victims are dead the majority of the time. If not, they are so obscure with their appearance that it's so easy just to swap from one or the other.
Yeah.
Their outside personality compared to their killer personality and appearance-wise, that easily. So even if someone were to somehow be alive, like the Zodiac killer, I mean, come on, no one's dressed up like a mock executioner.
Yeah.
In blue jeans and a black executioner hood, unless it's from a Monty Python sketch, and even that Monty Python couldn't come up with. You know, like, it's just one of the things I just have noticed a lot.
Yeah, so basically he actually did have some victims that that actually got away and was actually survived. Also too. So he actually, there was a girl, so he tended to kill others. I think in total he killed about, 10. I want to say.
I think it is that, like, if we keep track of what's being said, I think it is about that.
Yeah, so he killed about 10 people. I had to count real quick. He did have 3 of them, like, wander off.
2 seconds.
Yeah. In separate occasions, yes. One of them was a girl named Anna Williams, and this was in 1979. And she was 63, and she escaped death by returning home much later than expected. Because later, in his confession with this one, he became obsessed with her. And she invaded him, apparently, was livid. And he spent hours at her house being like, yo, I'm gonna come get her. She'll be coming home around this time. I'm gonna bound her, torture her, make her mine, you know, all that. But she didn't come home until like, later on that day. And he just basically gave up on her. Basically. He just basically was like, you know what, I ain't waiting any longer, I'm out. He bounced him. You know, he was like, I'm not dealing with this chick. No. And if it wasn't for her coming home super late, she would have been dead, to be honest. And also there was another girl who, her name was Maureen Hedge, age 53, and she was found on May 5th, 1985. So she was Rhea killed her and took her body to the church, which was called Christ Listen Church. And fun fact, at that church, he was the president of their church council, believe it or not. And he photographed her body in very sexual bondage positions. So basically, he stored black sheet, like plastic sheet, and other materials at the church in preparation for the murder, and then dumped the body and called this plan Project Cookie.
He seems like even more of a nutcase than all these other ones.
So basically, he basically did kill her, and did the exact same thing to, like, he basically had a pattern. He would stalk, kill, well, technically, it was stalk, torture, kill, bond. But he wasn't a weirdo like most of the other ones, like other killers. Because he didn't technically, how do I say it in a nicer term, violate the bodies. There was one incident that he did, but I didn't know which one, but I know one of them was violated. But they didn't give me a specific article to read also too. But then after he killed Maureen Hedges, and he did this in April 27th, 1985. Well, I think it was like 1980 something, I believe. They didn't give me a specific time. But then in 1988, he did murder. So he did also murder another family, which was the Figure family, but he never really gave the name. So it was about, also the same time, he actually confessed to feelings of killing the Aura family. Believe it or not. He didn't confess to the Figure family. In fact, they had no proof that he killed the Figure family until 2005. Believe it or not. So also, he did 2 more stalkings of women. They didn't really give the name of the women to their identity. He stalked them from 1990, and one of them he stalked almost until 1990, which is crazy. They did file a restraining order against him, and one of them also changed their address to avoid him, basically. He's like, fuck you, I ain't going to deal with that shit. So basically, yeah. So basically, he's fucked. And his final victim was none other than Dolores E. Davis, and she was found on February 1st of 1991 in her home. But basically, she was decaying a little bit, but they indicated that she died on January 19th. Crazy, right? But you want to know something? But how they found Dennis, basically, he was driving home And an officer asked her, "Miss Ray, do you know why you're going downtown?" Because she always saw him go downtown. And his reply was, "Oh, I have suspicions why." Nope. So basically they got a warrant for his arrest. Not only that, they had a warrant to search his property because he's being a little suspicious. And once they seized evidence, what they found was computer equipment, black pantyhose in a shed, and it's like a container. They were like, what? And they also found all the pictures of the deceased women, basically. So, yeah. But they finally arrested him, and yeah. In his trial, he actually was convicted. He was convicted, and he was charged of 10 counts of first-degree murder, and then he was also arrested. Ah, that was loud. So basically, he confessed to all his, he confessed to all his sentences. Okay. I'm still live streaming, babe. But also, do you want to know something? Yes, I know that. But also, wait, where's Rice? Rice, you want to know something? You want to know, he confessed to the murders, but then tried to plead against insanity.
To be fair though, there has been cases of insanity where they've been tricked into confessing.
Yeah, he's still here. But don't get me wrong, like, if you are, like, yeah, but you shouldn't blame, if you're going to confess to a murder, like, murders, I should say, there's no way you're going to be pleading against insanity.
Oh, well, if anything, there's been multiple cases where there's been serial robbery and murder in Adelaide, Australia. I can't remember which case it was, but it turns out a guy who coincidentally was just at the actual shopping district where it happened, because basically this one guy gone around stalking and then breaking into a jewellery store.
Yeah.
Which then, with that, he gone and just, killed the person who was there, killing her with a wrench, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So, he was like, oh yeah, I dreamt about, like, seeing all of this from, like, a third-person view, and he described it in such great detail that the police officers thought he was just, like, confessing. So then they basically weren't even trying to look for evidence for, like, possibly anybody else. They just looked straight for him. Like, how can we get him convicted? And eventually they managed to figure out a way how they could prove he was the killer, even though he wasn't the killer. It's just like, he genuinely dreamt it in such great detail.
Yeah, but also, like, he actually confessed it, and you can actually hear the recordings of him confessing it on YouTube. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, I listened to a podcast on Spotify called Case File, and a lot of stuff on there is like it's some right nasty stuff.
Oh,
Like,
if you
if
ever...
anyone is gonna listen to it,
Yeah.
like, yeah. The only thing they don't have is the actual images, because, you know, it's a podcast, but you could probably look up the images on the website now.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, because there is a, I'm actually going to get into this killer one day, and that's the toy box killer. The toy box killer.
Oh, yeah, they've got their playlist of that. There's like 3 parts for it, because, you know, there's loads.
Yeah, and I actually watched it before when I was looking up cases. I was like, you know, I heard about their recordings because I listened to a girl on YouTube, and she's my all-time favorite person to actually do true crime, is Bailey Sarian. And if you heard of her, like, she's just very
lads doing it, like. We've got like suicide as well.
Yeah.
So like a bunch of cases where like people pretend to have killed themselves and live new lives, but end up getting caught doing so. It's really interesting.
So basically, it's So basically, if you want to hear the confessions, you can just look it up on YouTube. Just look at BTK Killer Confessions. So. But I am gonna do the case of the toy box killer one day, because like I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, what do we know about this? You know, when I heard it, I kind of had my suspicions on the toy box because of what he said. Like some of the things
I don't really know on the toy box, so I started listening to it, but then stopped because I was
so if you are
busy.
going to listen to the case, like, if you're going to listen to the actual, you know, the recordings of what he said to his victims, these are actually videotape, you know, basically this is what he said to them when they were tied up and bound. And basically they're in this, he actually sat there and explained, like, oh, what's up? I'm going to kill you. I'm going to torture you until you can't take it. I'm going to do stuff to you. I'm going to, you know...
Yeah, like, Kersfall,
violate you.
They don't hold back. They'll just give you everything. Like, whatever they can access, they will put on their podcast. It's brilliant.
So basically, he told his victims that he was going to do so much horrible stuff to him. To them.
Yeah, I remember listening to the Yorkshire Ripper because where I live is quite close, like city-wise, quite close to where he was actually, because he did stuff in Manchester.
Yeah.
Which is like up north in North Yorkshire. So they have like a 3-part series on it, and the guy's still alive. Like, oh wait, no, he died recently.
Didn't he die recently?
Yeah, the Yorkshire Ripper died recently in prison, I believe. But I actually know someone who works in the prison system, and they actually came face to face with the guy, and he's an absolute nutcase.
Yeah. But
you can tell by like what they're saying, but when you meet them face to face, it's like different.
Yeah, but it's
you can tell how much of a nutcase they can be.
Yeah, but it's just crazy. Welcome back. But it's just crazy how, like, they can take so little information and make it into, like, a big national war, like, worldwide thing. And, like, a lot of people are like, oh, meeting a serial killer shouldn't be bad. They probably know better and stuff like that. No, that's not the case in most of them. Most of them actually laugh during the trials. If you've actually watched some serial killers who are going in trial, they just laugh to be like, ha.
Yeah, I listened to a case where there was this woman who basically beat and abused the kids that badly that eventually she killed them, stuck them in a freezer and left them for months. Until eventually one of her neighbours were like, hold on a minute, I've not seen them for months. And she'd given excuses like, oh, they're at a private school and this, that and the other, but I don't know. And then she went to court and she pled guilty. But but not like I want to repent from this kind of thing. I'm like, no, I did it. Yeah, this is what I do.
Yeah, in some cases
they
like
went
that,
into
so
very. They had to go in like really bad detail, and some of the things they were actually slightly wrong on. She said she corrected them. That's how much of a nutcase she was.
Yeah, and I think that's the most disgusting thing, like, for certain ones. It's like, you're basically laughing at the death because, oh, you killed a family member. It's like, I can get, like, I'm not condoning murder or this type of behavior, but I do truly feel sorry for them because, yeah, they've actually indicated that certain parts of childhood life can develop in serial killers, basically. So let's say you...
A lot of them I don't feel bad for, quite frankly.
Yeah.
The ones that I've listened to about, but a certain few have been. Some of them were out of purely because that's what they were taught.
Yeah.
They weren't taught that killing people was wrong. I remember a couple of cases
so
like
basically
that,
the case, you know the Night Ripper, which was Rodriguez, basically. So I don't know if you remember that case. So the Night Stalker, basically he was taught to kill because he basically grew up with a whole bunch of killers, and that's basically what he wanted to do, and he was never taught, hey, this is wrong.
Yeah, it's the same thing with
like Richard
Burke pedos,
which
straight, like with some pedos, like that's what they know, it's what they've been taught.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but,
they're the sort of people I genuinely feel bad for, because you can't really blame them, can you?
But
you
he did.
Action, yes.
Yeah, and he didn't get the death sentence. He just got life in prison. Now, the Night Stalker actually got, he actually was put to death, which thank God he did. After a while.
Yeah,
but fun fact, Dennis never really actually was able to get on death row.
Interesting.
Because back in 2005, this is the most interesting case. He made a plea bargain. To say if he confessed it, he would just get a life sentence.
Yeah, plea verdict.
Yeah. So basically, he just took the plea bargain, and he's like, you know what?
I'll confess to it if I don't get put to death.
But he actually, and also with certain people, I think you shouldn't give a lot of people the death sentence, because some of the killers, and I've actually read about this, that certain serial killers actually do it to get the death penalty because they don't want to be alive anymore.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
I hear about that a lot.
But
actually, one thing I heard about 2 seconds.
So basically, yeah. So he only has a life sentence. He has 10 consecutive life sentences and a minimum of 175 years. But fun fact, at the time of the murders, there was absolutely no death penalty. So he would have not get the death penalty no matter what.
Also, depending on state, depends.
Yeah.
Whether death penalties are even legal anymore. Personally, I can see why people think that the death penalty is right, that people should be killed for killing. But then again, there's the whole, everybody kind of knows the phrase, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Yeah.
It makes sense. No matter what, someone's going to want someone else dead then.
Yeah.
If we go by that logic of killers should be killed. It doesn't teach anything. That's just the easy way out of it. They just get killed and people go on with their day. They're not locked up. People are putting effort in to show that they don't want them to be in normal humanity. That they don't deserve to be a part of humanity for being the monsters that they are.
Hi. But also, they never really, and I'm going 100% being my honest opinion, they never really, if you do decide to, like, you know, kill somebody, like, or kill a murderer, then they won't have time to think about what they did and to see if they can actually sit there and have, you know, see if they would be sorry for the victims he killed or they killed, or basically sit there, they're like, you have no resentment whatsoever and you're just a true monster.
Yeah. That's the reason why we have prisons, to lock up people who are a danger to society.
Yeah.
So why kill them? That literally just breaks the point of prisons. I'm lost.
Yeah.
I've gotten lost now.
But yeah, that's basically all what happened with the BTK killer. So, yeah. My opinion is, I'm hopefully, and supposedly he's still alive to this day. Supposedly, yeah. Supposedly he's still alive to this day. I mean, he did have a few, like, you know, health issues, but, yeah.
Actually, I want to look that up.
I mean, you gotta think, he's been locked up. Oh, no, he's not free. He's still in jail because he has 175 years, which he's only been in jail, so he'd be dead.
Yeah, Peter Sutcliffe, also known... Peter Sutcliffe...
175 years?
Oscar Ripper died on the 13th of November 2020.
Yeah. Which, actually, yeah. I actually am going to actually do a story of Jack the Ripper. It's one of the conspiracy theories.
If I just turn on my PC, I could do, like, a full-on documentary thing for you.
Oh, I've already got it. But also, I have a conspiracy theory for it, and I also got a new conspiracy theory, in my opinion, about the new case of Gabby Petito.
Gabby?
Yeah. So you've seen on... Okay, we'll get into that story. I will tell you, she is very popular now on TikTok. She is the woman that went missing, found dead, and her fiance is a prime suspect because he ran off, and Dog the Bounty Hunter is trying to find him now. But I'm not going to get into that story until we get into that story. Well, into that stream.
Yeah.
She is very popular on TikTok. I am also going to do a TikTok killer also too.
Which TikTok killer? Because there's a few actually.
Well, no, and this one, but it's also a girl who stabbed her mother, I think 18 times because of an argument. No, because there was an argument about a concert, I believe, but I'm not going to get into the full details of that until that stream.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go into full details of the argument and what happened, but she actually had an account. There's also another girl on TikTok that she actually shot somebody over that, and she was actually technically a yandere girl. There's actually two cases when I get to the yandere series, whenever I get to the yandere series, I'm going to tell about two yanderens. One actually is based off Japan, and the other one is actually based off America. So, that's going to be fun. But I'm going to end the stream here, guys. I'm actually going to end this stream here because I gotta go play Fortnite with my niece because she called me during the stream. But thank y'all so much for watching. As always, keep staying spooky, my Pika Pandas. Mwah. Ow. Bye bye, stream. Say bye, everyone. Bye bye, Pika Pandas.